Imagine a world where your very existence hinged on the sharp edge of a rock. We're talking about a time when survival wasn't just tough, it was a daily, brutal fight. And our earliest ancestors had to invent their way out of the bottom of the food chain. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a colossal leap back in time, about 2.5 million years ago, to the dawn of what we call the Stone Age. We're going to explore the incredible story of how our distant relatives, living in a landscape of unforgiving challenges, developed the first truly revolutionary technology: stone tools. This isn't just ancient history. It's the foundational chapter of human ingenuity. Understanding how these tools shaped our ancestors' lives isn't just fascinating. It's understanding the very first sparks of innovation that led to everything we have today. Get ready to see how a simple rock changed everything. Picture East Africa, 2.5 million years ago. It's not the comfortable world we know. This was a wild, untamed land, teeming with creatures far more powerful and dangerous than any human. We're talking about massive saber-toothed cats, enormous hyenas, and other predators that saw our small, relatively weak ancestors as just another snack. Our hominin ancestors weren't the dominant species. Far from it. They were scavengers, opportunists, often at the mercy of larger, stronger animals. Their bodies weren't built for combat like a lion's claws or a rhino's horn. They were vulnerable, constantly searching for food, shelter, and safety in a world that offered very little of either. Life expectancy was incredibly short, often no more than 30 years, if they were lucky. Every day was a battle against starvation, thirst, disease, and the constant threat of becoming someone else's meal. How did they survive? How did they not just fade away into the history books as another failed experiment of evolution? The answer, surprisingly, lay in something as simple as a rock. Sometime around 2.5 million years ago, a crucial realization dawned on one of our early ancestors, probably Homo habilis or Australopithecus. Hitting one rock against another could create a sharp edge. This wasn't just any rock, it was a deliberate process, creating what we now call Oldowan tools. These weren't sophisticated knives or axes. We're talking about basic choppers, often a river cobble with a few flakes knocked off one side to create a jagged, incredibly sharp edge. The flakes themselves, though smaller, were also incredibly useful, offering razor-sharp cutting power for delicate tasks. Think about that moment. Imagine the first time someone held a rock that could cut through tough hide or muscle. It was an absolute game changer. This wasn't about strength anymore. It was about leverage, about extending their natural capabilities with an external object. So, what did these crude stone tools actually do? Well, for one, they dramatically changed our ancestors' diet. Before stone tools, getting to the rich, nutritious marrow inside large animal bones was pretty much impossible for them. Scavenging meant picking at scraps left by bigger predators. But with a chopper, they could smash open those bones, accessing a high-calorie, high-fat food source previously out of reach. This wasn't just a tasty snack. It was a massive influx of brain-boosting nutrients. It also meant they could strip meat off carcasses much more efficiently, getting more bang for their buck from every scavenging opportunity, beyond meat and marrow. These tools also allowed them to process tough plant materials, roots and tubers that would otherwise be impossible to chew or digest. Suddenly, a whole new world of food opened up, providing the energy needed to survive and, crucially, to fuel bigger, more complex brains. The impact of stone tools wasn't just about what they ate, it was about how they lived. These tools transformed them from passive scavengers into active, strategic opportunists. They could quickly butcher a carcass, reducing the time spent vulnerable at a kill site before bigger predators returned. Imagine a small group, armed with their crude choppers and flakes, approaching a fresh kill. They'd work quickly, efficiently, slicing through muscle and tendon, smashing bones, grabbing what they could, and getting out of there. This speed was a matter of life and death. These tools also likely offered a basic form of defense. While a chopper isn't a spear, a sharp, heavy rock wielded by a determined individual could certainly deter a smaller predator or inflict damage on a larger one. It gave them a fighting chance, something they often lacked before. It also might have facilitated the digging of roots and tubers, and even the crafting of basic shelters or processing of hides. The creation and use of Oldowan tools weren't just a physical act, they were a profound cognitive leap. Think about what it takes to make a stone tool. You need to understand cause and effect, select the right kind of rock, visualize the finished product, and plan the sequence of strikes. This requires complex problem solving and abstract thought. This constant engagement with tool making and tool using stimulated brain development. The feedback loop was incredible. Better tools led to better food, which fueled bigger brains, which in turn led to even better tools. This positive cycle is one of the foundational elements in the story of human evolution. It also required cooperation, teaching others how to make tools, sharing the fruits of their labor, coordinating scavenging efforts. These all fostered social bonds and communication. The seeds of complex language and societal structure were probably sown right here. Amidst the dust and scattered rock flakes, these simple stone tools, crude as they might seem to us today, were the absolute foundation of human technology. They weren't just objects, they were an extension of the human mind and body, allowing our ancestors to manipulate their environment in entirely new ways. Every single invention since then, from the wheel to the smartphone, owes a debt to that first moment a hominin picked up a rock and intentionally shaped it. The Oldowan toolkit persisted for nearly 1 million years, evolving slowly but steadily. It was incredibly effective for its time and place, proving that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most enduring and impactful. It speaks volumes about the persistence, adaptability, and sheer genius of our earliest ancestors. They didn't just survive, they innovated, they learned, and they set the stage for everything that was to come. So, from a harsh landscape of constant danger, our ancestors found their edge, literally. The invention of the first stone tools 2.5 million years ago was more than just a technological breakthrough. It was a revolution that transformed their diet, enhanced their survival, stimulated their brains, and laid the groundwork for all future human innovation. It's a powerful reminder that our drive to create and adapt is a story as old as humanity itself. What do you think was the biggest challenge for our ancestors when they first started using stone tools? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this journey into the deep past as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of prehistoric survival and human ingenuity.